tired. I'm at the airport here in Athens, and I am so tired. It's late afternoon. It's around 4 o'clock right now, and I'm off to my next destination. But I am so tired. You see, I've been sleeping in a dorm room here in Athens, and 6 people were in this dorm room, and I got home pretty late because last night we were a group out to see some football, as we call it, some soccer, the Champions League semi-final between Real Madrid and Bayern Munich. And it was a good night. We had a few beers, and then I got back to the dorm room at around 1 o'clock. At 4 o'clock, an alarm clock rings. 9 minutes later, again. 9 minutes later, again. 9 minutes later, again. And 9 minutes later, again. The same alarm clock. This person chose to use the snooze button in a hostel, in a dorm room, which is just simply not cool. I don't care that people do it wherever they are, but as long as they know for a fact that they might be waking up other people, and then just ignore that by having this snooze thing going every 9 minutes. When this person chose finally to get up, another person had the alarm ringing 9 minutes later, 9 minutes later, and 9 minutes later. And then they left the room and took the key card out of the thing that activates the electricity. That means all of a sudden there was no electricity in the dorm room, and that woke me up again because I have sleep apnea, so I sleep with a CPAP, sort of a small mask over my nose. So all of a sudden I didn't get any air, and that woke me up again. I really had to manage my energy and go out and find my own key card and put that in so I could get some oxygen again. But anyway, I managed to get a few hours sleep after that, and here I am at Athens airport, and right now I'm going to Tirana, Albania, and I'm so looking forward to that.
Meet Palle Bo, a full-time traveler and digital nomad from Denmark on an epic journey around the world. This is the Radio Vagabond.
Welcome back to the Radio Vagabond. And after the Nomad Cruise, I spent a few days in Athens with my new nomadic friends. What I didn't know was that it's kind of a tradition to hang around with the other nomads from the cruise for a longer time. So I learned that a lot of them were going to reunite on the Greek island Santorini. I would have loved to join them and spend some more time with them, but I already made plans to head north. That was a lesson learned, and I promised myself to carve in some extra time to hang out with the other cruises after my next Nomad Cruise, because I was sure there was going to be a next Nomad Cruise for me. But, like I said, I was heading north to the Balkans, and my first stop would be a country that, to be honest, never have been high on my bucket list, and it turned out to be one of my favorite countries I visited that year. My name is Palle Bo, and I am going to Albania. This episode is brought to you in part by Hotels25.com. It's a website that helps you find the best prices on hotels and guest houses and hostels around the world. Hotels25.com.
Do you know where it is we're going?
I sometimes get friend requests on Facebook from people I don't know. And a month before my trip to Albania, I got one from a guy called Adam. My finger was hovering over the decline button because I didn't know him and I'd never met him. But I saw that we had a mutual friend, another extreme traveler from Denmark that I respect. And then I could see that Adam worked in tourism in Albania. So I accepted and wrote to him and told him that I would be in Albania soon and would like to meet him. He agreed and offered to show me around. Adam works for a travel company called Albania Express Travel. It's a travel agency and Balkan tour operator with great experience in organizing group tours, individual tours, accommodation, transport, and they have experienced guides that talk different languages. They also organize events and meetings, trekking, hiking, and walking tours, and overall holidays in Albania and its neighboring countries such as Montenegro, North Macedonia, Kosovo, Croatia, Serbia, Bosnia-Herzegovina, Greece, Romania, Bulgaria, and Slovenia. I put a link to their website in the show notes.
And the thank you is faleminderit.
Faleminderit?
Faleminderit.
Faleminderit.
Yes, it's thank you.
More easy in Danish. It's just tak.
Tak.
That's easy.
So when I arrived to Athens, I wrote to Adam again and told him that I'd be flying into Tirana, the capital of Albania. He offered to pick me up, but when it turned out that he had to be working at that time, he had a good friend waiting for me in the arrival hall with my name on a board in the terminal.
You're going for the north?
Maybe, I don't know.
Not the road, I said.
I only know that after I leave Albania, I'm going to Kosovo. But what's going to happen in Albania, I will make plans when I talk to Adam.
Travel is possible at any age. Your sense of adventure is just over the horizon. So, reach out and grab it. This is the Radio Vagabond. Gotta keep moving.
Okay, coming to Albania, I think I must admit that I still have a few prejudices of what to expect in a country. Like going to a coffee shop, I would have expected that it was a little bit more, I don't even know how to say it, primitive than in the Western world, but this is fully just as modern and nice as in any other Western country.
And now, facts about where we are.
Albania. They had a communist dictator, Enver Hoxha, from 1941 to 85. His official title, and wait for it, Comrade, Chairman, Prime Minister, Foreign Minister, Minister of War, Commander-in-Chief of the People's Army. Quite a mouthful. During his time, around 150,000 bunkers were built in Albania. They are nearly impossible to destroy, so many of them are still in existence. And Albania was declared the world's first atheist state in 1967. Today, the most commonly practiced religion in Albania is Islam. The second most is Christianity. Here's a few fun facts. Tirana, the capital of Albania, is one of the few European capital cities to not have a McDonald's. However, it does have a chain named Kolonat, whose logo looks suspiciously familiar. Take a look at the radiovagabond.com where I posted a picture of one of these restaurants. Nodding your head in Albania is disagreement, while shaking your head means yes. This can be pretty confusing for tourists. Geographically, Albania is close to the heel of Italy, but at its closest point, Albania is only 10 kilometers away from the Greek island Corfu. To the east, Macedonia, to the northeast, Kosovo, and to the north, Montenegro.
And that was facts about where we are.
Adam!
How you doing?
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good.
You okay?
Yeah.
How did you find this place?
Airbnb. Nice apartment.
It's good?
It's good.
So now we have to sit down 2 minutes somewhere, have a coffee or something, and I'll explain everything about...
He's in his mid-40s. He's a family man with 2 sons and works as a general director for Albania Express Travel.
We do tours around Albania and also Balkans as well.
Balkans, yeah.
Like Macedonia, Kosovo, Montenegro, Croatia, Bosnia-Herzegovina, Serbia, Turkey, Greece, whatever. So we're quite busy, and we just started tourism. Albania is still a poor country, but it's an amazing country, and there are a lot of interesting things to see. We have around 3-4 UNESCO sites in Albania, World Heritage sites, which is one of them is Berati. We call the city of 1,000 windows. Amazing one. It's a museum city. The second one is Gjirokastra. It's in south of Albania. We call Stone City. It's an amazing city as well. And also we have Butrin, which is an archaeological site. It's from Roman time. And it's another one. So and also Butrin is very nice as well. We have some songs we call folk music. It's very old songs. They are part of UNESCO as well.
It is.
Yes, it is. And also Pokadeci Lake, but we share this lake with Macedonia.
Let's be honest. For most Westerners that want to go on a holiday in the southern part of Europe, Albania is probably not on the top of the list. But maybe it should be, and maybe it will be in the future. According to Adam, it's changing.
Of course, it's changing. Albania was a communist country for 50 years. Nobody was allowed to get in, and nobody was allowed to get out. So in 1992 we had the first democratic election in Albania, and then we started tourism, but the situation in communism time was very bad. So when the regimes changed, imagine the salary in that time was $2-3 a month. So what you can do with $2-3 US a month. And then when the regimes changed, so a lot of people, we didn't know about free world. We never heard about free world. We never heard even for a Coke can. We never saw a Coke can. We never drank some Coca-Cola. We never saw jeans. We never saw other TV channels, foreign TV channels. We didn't know anything. So because Albania, as I told you, was like a big jail, so nobody was allowed to get out and nobody was allowed to get in. Now Albania is growing up economically. It's not as poor as before, or not. It's not as poor as the people think. We are in the heart of Europe. We have an amazing country. It's about 20,008 square kilometer, and we have 450 kilometer seaside. We have mountains. We have lakes. We have rivers. We have everything, and also it's an interesting country. So we have one of the best things in Albania is hospitality. Everywhere you go in Albania, even people if they don't know you, they'll offer you some raki. Raki is our traditional drink.
Okay.
So come on, they're curious. Just, for example, you, Bo, come in my house, drink some raki, eat some jam or something, even if they don't know you. So this, I think, in most of the European countries, it's gone. So it's not anymore. I mean, in Albania still. Also, we have a nice weather. In 365 days, 300 hours sunshine. And also, one of the best things we have is food. Everywhere in Albania you go, you can eat some nice fresh food. So if you order 3 meals, a salad, a pasta or a soup, the main dish, meat or fish, it doesn't cost you more than 6-7 euro, something like that. And a beer, and a bottle of beer or a glass of wine. So this is the reason why we don't have McDonald's in Albania.
Yeah, you don't have McDonald's.
No.
But you do have Cokes, but you don't have McDonald's.
No, because we consider McDonald's bad food, and also if you go in a restaurant, it's cheaper than McDonald's. So that's why.
You told me about this. There's a chain of restaurants that have a logo that's quite similar to McDonald's.
Right, they are. I mean, like it's copies, or let's say. So some kids, for example, my kids sometimes want to go there to eat some chips or a hamburger or something.
But they could technically be here now. It's not something that would be illegal for McDonald's to start up here.
No, it's not. It's not.
But you're just not
just
interested.
So, if McDonald's start business here, they will bankrupt in 1 month because nobody eat McDonald's. So because the food in the restaurant is cheaper and it's nicer. So Albania is going up. So as I told you now, the salary in Albania is 300 to 400 euro a month. We can travel all over in Schengen areas, which is very good for us. And last year, Albania had been visited from 5 million tourists all over the world. And this year, we're waiting for more, maybe 7 million. And 7 million for a small country like us is quite a huge number.
So if people who like to visit countries that are not run over by tourists, now is the time to go here.
Now it's time, otherwise, or for example, BBC wrote an article who said, go and visit Albania now, because Albania is like Spain 40 years ago. Yeah. So if you don't visit Albania now, so Albania will be, it's not Albania anymore after 30 or 40 years. It'll be like Spain, full of hotels, noise bitches and things like that. So.
The ultimate destination for armchair travelers who are looking for inspiration to get out into the real world and let loose their wanderlust. This is the Radio Vagabond. Gotta keep moving.
I'm so happy that I got connected to Adam, and in our conversations coming here, he gave me a lot of tips, made sure I was picked up from the airport, and then he also wrote something about that he would make me famous in Albania.
And I will, starting from tomorrow morning.
Well, we'll see about that. Let's keep that a secret for the listener up until now. But that's going to be an interesting.
Finger crossed and hope it's going to do something.
You'll hear more about that later. Coming up, we go for a walk in Tirana, and then I get to learn so much more about the city and the country that's slowly beginning to take me by storm. Stay with us.
You can follow Palabo on his Facebook page. Join the conversation about traveling and being a digital nomad. You can also see pictures, videos, and stories that don't necessarily make it into the podcast. Simply search for the Radio Vagabond. And now, back to this week's episode. Gotta keep moving.
What kind of system do you have? What kind of government?
It's a parliamentary system in Albania, so we have the president, which is no power, all the power going to the prime minister.
Just
like a doll.
Symbol.
Yeah, symbol of, yeah.
Like our queen, really.
Right, yeah. And as I told you, we have the president, all the power going to the prime ministers. We have 15 ministers. Also, we have 140 members in the parliament. We have general election every 4 years. And also we have every 4 years elections for local elections for mayors and councils.
So does it change from left wing to right wing, or is it normally just one side?
Now they change a lot. So every 4-8 years the governments change. So this is a good one, but also bad because for the new government it takes time to do some things. So, but yeah, every 4 years.
So now the system has changed and they have democracy. But during the dictatorship, it was so different. What they did to keep people in check. Adam tells me a story about what happened to his neighbor.
He's a very good man, and he went to the bakery shop to buy some bread. But the quality of the bread was very bad. And he was complaining to the person who was selling bread and said, "What is this? It's very bad." Someone behind him, he just pointed to the authorities, and only for that 10 years in jail.
No!
Yes.
For saying that the bread was bad?
Because it was complained, yes.
Oh my God.
10 years in jail only for that. A lot of people have been punished only for no reason. Just no reason. And also the government organized groups, looks like criminals or something, but he's just normal people have been punished for no reason to scare other people. It was kind of propaganda thing. And the government was doing that very often, just to keep the other people in check, yes. So a lot of people suffer from the communism, and to be honest, is one of the most stupid thing in the world.
I don't know exactly what I was expecting from Albania, but it was definitely much more modern than I pictured. Tirana is a vibrant city with a lot of shops, restaurants and cafes.
We're walking through an area with a lot of very nice restaurants.
Yes.
And there was even a KFC over there. Not putting that in that category, but that's
that's a real
American,
KFC.
Yeah,
that's a real KFC, but it's not working at all. There are just some young people going there to eat something, some chips or some chicken wings.
Yeah.
So
you do have American fast food.
We have, because United States market is quite strong, so they are trying here in Albania as well, but I don't think they're going to survive for a long time. Yeah.
We also passed one of those, the McDonald's copycat that Adam was talking about before.
Let's see how many people are inside.
Not a lot.
Is just one over there.
One person inside the restaurant. But they survive. How can they do that?
I have no idea. I mean, there are young people, youth people, or kids wants to eat some chips or whatever, hamburger or whatever.
I can see what you mean about the logo.
Yeah. So yeah.
The cars in Albania are bigger and better than I expected. I noticed a lot of Mercedes-Benzes. Actually, Adam called it the national car of Albania. And then added that it's kind of ironic that one of the poorest countries in Europe has more Mercedes-Benzes than anywhere else I've been.
I see a lot of Mercedeses in this city. Tell me the story about that.
Right. As I told you, to have a car during communism time was quite a kind of a dream. And when the regimes changed, so a lot of people bought cars. But in that time, we used to have very bad roads because I told you, the communist leader decided to build very small roads, going up and down, a lot of turns, for two reasons. First, nobody has a car. The second one, if some imperialist countries or capitalist countries attack Albania, it's more easy for us to attack them too in these roads. And also it's very difficult for big trucks to drive in these roads. When the regimes change, so roads used to be in a very bad situation. Still,
and also the money went to bunkers.
Absolutely, yeah. So most of the money goes to the bunker. So people bought Mercedes, old one, because Mercedes, it was the only car who can resist in our roads. So this is the only reason why I bought Mercedes. Really? Yes.
And still to this day, a lot of Mercedes here.
All right, Mercedes is a nice car.
Yeah, it is a nice car.
Right, it's expensive,
but it's like, I feel in some roads it's 25% of the cars is Mercedes. So many, and then
no, there are more than that. So when some people start buying Mercedes, so everybody bought Mercedes, and also it's very easy for them to buy car parts. So it's easy, cheap, because everybody has a Mercedes. So, right, now everything's changed now. So you can see it's BMW, this is a Hyundai, so this is Audi. But Mercedes, people bought Mercedes because it was the only car who can resist in our roads. So everything's changed now. But
the architecture is also fairly modern, even though you can see the Russian and the Chinese influence on some of the buildings.
Okay. We are here in front of Gallery of Arts. It's a Chinese design, and I think there's nothing inside to this. So, as you can see, this is a communist style or design. So it's a Chinese one. Behind,
because during the communist era, they were always also very friendly to the Chinese.
We used to have good relationship with Yugoslavia first, with Tito. Tito was the ex-leader of Yugoslavia. But when Tito trying to get Albania as an eighth republic, our dictator refused, so that's why we broke up the relationship. Then we started with Russia, with Stalin, and we used to have good relationship with Russia. And when Russia wants to build the biggest base in Albania, army base, our leader refused, so that's why we broke up. And then we started with China, and for a few years we had good relationship with China as well. And then we broke up with China as well, and because our dictator became a little bit maniac, so he was scared that his friends is going to get his power with Chinese government's help. Here there are some monuments of communism time. So that's Stalin and it's Lenin. Just give me a moment.
Yeah.
While Adam answers a phone call and I take snapshots of some of the monuments for the RadioVagabond.com, let me remind you that this episode is partly supported by Hotels25.com. It's a website that helps you find the best deals on hotel rooms and guest houses and hostels anywhere in the world. Hotels25.com.
See that sign close to the traffic lights?
Yeah.
As we're about to walk over a bridge, Adam points out one of the funniest official signs I've seen in a long time.
So if you pee under the bridge, they'll record you and show on YouTube, so everybody watching you, and so it's kind of punishment or something. Well, that's a smart thing. That's a smart one.
It's an icon with a stick man peeing, with a red circle and a line across. And then underneath he is again this man peeing, and then you can see a small video camera. And then the next one, you can see a computer screen where it says YouTube in the corner. So basically, the sign is saying it's not allowed to pee in the river, and if you do so, we will film you and put on YouTube for the world to see. You just have to see a picture of this sign on theradiovagabond.com.
Okay, now we're going very close to Pyramida. There's a building here in your left-hand side, and it was the museum of our dictator after his death.
And then we go to another iconic building in Tirana. It's a pyramid that was designed by the dictator's daughter, who was a talented architect. And the pyramid was used as a mausoleum for him when he died in 85.
When he died, the government decided to build a very nice museum, and the design of this museum, it was Enver Hoxha's daughter, our dictator's daughter. And for 3 weeks, this place, it was kind of mausoleum. I mean, his body was inside this building.
Have you ever wondered what the places in this podcast actually look like? I have. So, I started following the Radio Vagabond on Instagram, simply by searching Radio Vagabond.
Is there corruption in the country?
Yes, this is one of the biggest problems right now in Albania. Corruption is a cancer for us.
Yeah.
So it's one of the biggest problems right now. So a lot of...
Is it also down to if you get caught speeding in the car, you can pay off the police officer, or...
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
But before,
I see that changing a lot.
Yes.
In these...
Yes. But if you give to the police some money, you will be in trouble. They will arrest you straight away. But before, yes.
Yeah.
You just give him €5 and you could go like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
But still, a lot of corruption, especially in our government. So a lot of deputies and ministers are involved in scandals, finance scandals, and that's a big problem. And also the economy of Albania is not good right now because of scandals of the deputies and also ministers. So that's a big problem.
The more I travel, the more I learn. I'm often saying as a joke that living as a full-time traveler will make me a better Trivial Pursuit player. Like, I know where Mother Teresa was born from my visit to Skopje in North Macedonia. Have a listen to this clip. Right now I'm in the center of Skopje, on this exact spot where Mother Teresa was born, the 26th of August 1910. The house is not here now, but this is marked by 4 corners, and there's a plaque where it marks that this is where she was born, and there's also a sign that in Macedonian says here was the house where on the 26th of August 1910 was born
Gonja Boyajiu.
Gonja Boyajiu.
Boyajiu.
Gonja Boyajiu. Mother Boyajiu.
Yes.
Gonja Boyajiu. Mother Teresa. The world is not hungry for more bread, it's much more hungry for... So, knowing that, I was a bit surprised when we came to a square and Adam says that Mother Teresa is Albanian.
We call this square Mother Teresa Square. Maybe you heard, maybe not. Mother Teresa is Albanian.
Mother Teresa?
Yes.
She's born in Macedonia.
She born in Macedonia.
In Skopje.
Skopje.
Yeah.
But at that time, Skopje was part of Albania.
Aha!
So in 1913, state power decided to cut some part of Albania, and Skopje was one of them. Mm-hmm. So her real name, Mother Teresa's real name is Gonje Boyaji.
I know.
Gonje means flower.
I had a hard time when I was in Macedonia and did my podcast from the place where she was born. I was reading the sign. I couldn't say Gonje Boyaji.
Gonje Boyaji, yeah. Gonje is a flower.
Yeah.
And she never visited Macedonia when she was alive. She came here in 1989 to see her parents' graves.
Yeah.
And her parents' graves are here in Albania. She came here because in communism times, Mother Teresa was enemy of state.
Yeah.
But Mother Teresa is Albanian. Right. So Macedonian saying that is Macedonian, but...
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Who doesn't want to claim to own Mother Teresa?
Mother Teresa is the mother of the world. It's not mother of Albania, it's not mother of Macedonia, but it's mother of the world.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So, according to Adam, and probably most Albanians, Mother Teresa is Albanian. There might even be a slightly different version, so let's check what Wikipedia says. She was born in Skopje, now the capital of North Macedonia, and then part of the Ottoman Empire. Her father was from what is now Albania, and her mother was from what's now Kosovo. Yeah, it can be confusing with borders and names of countries changing over time.
This is the Radio Vagabond.
After a walk through the city for a few hours, Adam took me to the old bazaar and fish market. It's very unique in that this is the only place where much of the old historic buildings are left. During the communist era, they destroyed everything old and built new instead.
This is the old bazaar and the fish market.
Yes. This is Old Bazaar and the fish market, and also this fruit market here. So it's totally renovated 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Here it was a mess. Now it's totally renovated. It takes about 6 million to Albanian government's budget. And as you see the painting over there, this is a restaurant, fish restaurant, and we're going to sit over there to eat something, just have a beer or something.
Yeah.
So this is the Old Bazaar.
Yeah.
This is the only place in Tirana, old place, old. So as I told you, the slogan, destroy everything old and build everything new.
Yeah.
Stupid idea, but yeah, happens.
And that was the last stop of many on my day with my new Albanian friend, Adam. We sat down and had a nice dinner and a glass of wine. I'm so grateful for Adam taking the time to spend the afternoon with me. He's such a nice man and a great representative of his country. But I would see him again the next day too. And he told me that he had plans for me. Not sure exactly what, but we'll find out in the next episode of the Radio Vagabond. My name is Palle Bo. See ya.